Maintenant, notre prochain invité, c'est un habitué du PostNAB, lui aussi. On l'a vu dans les conférences de Final Cut Montréal dans le temps, dans des PostNAB. Il était un partenaire de Final Cut Montréal aussi, très loyal. Donc, ils nous ont présenté cette année au NAB. En fait, ils nous présentent toujours plein de nouveaux hardware. Puis, on est un peu geek, hein? Je ne sais pas si vous avez remarqué, mais on aime ça aller les essayer puis ils nous en prêtent. Fait qu'on est un peu choyés. Puis cette année, ils ont sorti quelque chose, on s'y attendait pas. C'est depuis quelques années AJA. Ils travaillent beaucoup dans le milieu de la production. Donc, on a vu les Keypro il y a quelques années. C'était devenu pas mal l'enregistreur ProRes pour caméra par excellence. On a sorti le Keypro, ils ont sorti le Keypro Mini pour attacher, que ça soit moins lourd sur la caméra. Après ça, ils ont découvert que le monde voulait vraiment s'en servir en production, dans des trucks, dans des mobiles, comme Rec4Box. Donc, ils ont sorti le Keypro Rack. Et ça les a rapprochés beaucoup du monde de la production de la caméra. Et ils ont sorti le Keypro Quad il y a 2 ans maintenant, je pense, qui était puis ils ont développé ça avec Canon pour la C500. En fait, c'était l'enregistreur qui permettait d'enregistrer la sortie de la C500 puis de faire le DBR en temps réel, puis l'enregistrer son 4K en ProRes, qui est un format qui se travaille très bien. Donc, cette année au NAB, ils nous ont présenté vraiment un produit exceptionnel. Et encore là, c'était une surprise. How are you, John? Still plugging? OK, no problem. I'll continue talking. Je vais tirer ça un peu. On est arrivé au NAB, puis c'était la folie. Quand on arrive là, on est le matin, il est 8 h, puis là, les gates ouvrent, puis là, tu as les agents de sécurité qui ne veulent pas qu'on passe. Et puis là, on essaie de spotter, voir qu'est-ce qui se passe. Puis nous, quand on y va la première journée, bien, on est déjà plein d'entrevues de bookés parce qu'on veut faire des capsules pour notre site web. Fait que là, on est déjà booké jusqu'à 3 h de l'après-midi. Puis après ça, on essaie d'aller booker l'entrevue avec la prochaine affaire qui est cool parce qu'on n'était pas booké puis on ne savait pas que ça allait sortir. Et là, cette année, l'affaire qui était très cool, c'était la CION. Et la CION, c'est une caméra sur laquelle AJA travaille depuis un bout. Et j'aimerais ça vous en parler, mais on a John Ladle qui est là et qui va nous parler des nouveaux produits AJA, dont la caméra CION. So, John, it's to you. Okay. Go ahead.
Can I get my laptop turned on?
White one.
So thank you. Great to be back here. We took a year off, and it was painful. Can I get my screen up?
Just ask for it. Can we get the keynote on the screen, please? Thank you.
Merci. So thank you. We'll do a little bit less here, but again, thanks for welcoming us back. This is great to be here. We love coming out here and talking to you face to face, and it's great. You know, we've seen some people 8 years now, so we'll continue to build on that. But you know, we're AJA. We were a little Grass Valley company. Now we're getting a little bit bigger, and you know, last NAB we put out about 13 different products, and this NAB we thought, well, let's put out more products. So we brought out some pretty substantial things, as well as providing a lot of enhancements to existing products, which has become a hallmark if you're familiar with us. So one of the things we brought in, and hopefully we could use it today in production, it seems to have a lot of people's interest, is a LUT box. It's an inline color transform. 3D lookup tables are kind of the grail of color control and correction. And we allow you to load in .lut files, .txt files, and put them in for an inline transform. And we also allow you to preview that with HDMI or send a signal there, as well as just inline send the 3G. That way you can match cameras. So if you have 3 of one camera and another one, you could design a LUT curve to go in there and allow them to look the same in a switcher. And that's a big advancement for most people. And again, the price is almost lunch money for professionals. It's $695. So you can email these, you can make these, you can send them and load them an infinite amount off a computer. One other thing we also added was all these SLRs and GoPro cameras. Has anyone noticed those? I'm going through airports and they are literally selling GoPro cameras in the airport vending machines. And they're all over the place. We see them on sports teams. We see them in skiing. They just stick them on the side of things and expect a signal. And one of the nice things is now we're able to take a SMPTE legal video signal out of this and run it through 3G HDSDI.
Just got a message. The message. The guys want you to speak in a microphone, please.
Yes.
Thank you.
Better? Okay. So I'm not used to having to project my voice. So we also came up with a Hi-Fi Plus. Again, this is a 3G advancement of the previous, as well as adding audio delays and control. And this is one more enhancement that we've done for an existing product, the ROI, Region of Interest Scaler. So we could take a full screen like this PowerPoint and turn it into legal video, any frame rate, any frame size that you want in the 3G spectrum. And in this case, we're taking a region of interest. So if you have clients that have Skype, if you need to take your favorite cat video from YouTube and edit it in all sorts of ways, you have this capability. As well as being able to put 4 of those together for a 4K screen. So one other thing we did, and this might be interesting for this end of Canada, is we advanced our frame sync. We came up with another frame sync that has everything the other one did, as far as keying, AFD, closed captioning, 7 live and hot video inputs. In this case, 224 audio inputs and 224 audio outputs, as well as the ability to embed, disembed, and remap all of those per source. We also put in that computer to SMPTE scaler, so you have a region of interest scaler that we're able to do, where you can take the 2 video files, a straight video feed plus your computer feed, and lay it over into something you can record. But we also have a option that allows you to transform video between PAL and NTSC, standard def to 2K and all points in between. So we can literally take 25p PAL and SD and turn that into 2K 30p. So again, it's pretty cheap for something with this quality. It's far above the trinkets you can find on Amazon, and 5-year warranty. But really, one of the things we wanted to share with you is something that we should be back live. I know we've talked to a lot of clients, and we will be bringing this CION camera to you next month. So we wanted to, both please, pretty please. All right, thanks. All right, that's a lot prettier than me. So we wanted to bring the CION camera out here. This is the culmination of all of our experience as a company, as well as the last 4 years of intense putting it together. And we didn't want to come out with something half-baked or have you figure it out after we ship it. So there's a lot of pride that went into this from people who realize production. And it starts with the sensor, you know, a 4K APS-C sensor, CMOS, global shutter, and 12 stops of dynamic range, which is pretty significant. When you look at the price range of this camera, nothing is out there touching this. Again, a lot of cameras, you got to buy an IR filter. We put the IR cut there. Again, when you're sampling things, you should probably sample the image that you're going to use. And again, with the low pass filter, if you've seen a lot of space age introductory cameras, there's incredible moire effects in there. And we thought it was very important to deliver something that removed that immediately. So has anyone seen this at NAB? We look forward to showing it to you next month. The footage is incredibly impressive, especially by historical standards, and especially anywhere near this price range. So changing out lenses, sometimes that becomes an all-day ordeal to get that fine adjustment. You just literally take off 2 screws and you're able to adjust your back focus. And we shipped out of the gate. One of the things we wanted to do is this is a 120p RAW camera. And I'll show you a little more detail on how we're doing that. But we put a PL mount on there just because today when it comes to sports or filmmaking, PL is kind of the standard for the very high end of glass. But we completely understand people want to access the lenses they already have. People might want to do interviews with EF lenses. And so already out there, there's products from $500 on that will allow you to access B4M lenses and EF lenses. Because again, if you can get a $500 ring adapter and access your prime lenses for interviews, you know, that keeps the whole cost tag at under 15 grand. And that's a heck of a thing. Delivered. So again, we're open to third parties. People could actually remove that. And if you're into powered lenses, there's a little P-tap, a 2-pin power adapter right there very close to the lens that you can actually split and utilize for both viewfinder and for the motor. One other distinction with this camera, and we've given this a lot of thought, and there's a few ways to go, but we've decided to oversample everything from a full 4K image sensor. So we get beautiful images while retaining the lens focus. So while we can record in 4K, Ultra HD, 2K and HD, and while we can pass out 6 or 7 live hot signals, we record in 4K and then do the internal conversions. That way a 35mm lens in 4K is a 35mm lens in HD, and you don't have to change out lenses if you're going from an interview to a lockdown. One other thing that we're doing that's pretty innovative, especially if you see a lot of the raw workflows, is ProRes is pretty handy. And it's very convenient. And in fact, it's an expensive option on a lot of cameras. In our case, we just record it on board, and you're able to record 60p 4K. Or, for example, on a 512 card, you could record 45 hours of ProRes proxy while you're passing the RAW and recording it there. So we found that to be incredibly powerful for people that actually want to do production work and turn it around. One other nice thing is this is a 120p RAW camera. 4 BNCs output. You could hook up 2 of them and send out 60p 4K RAW. And then via the Thunderbolt, we're going all the way up to 30 frames per second 4K. And these are simultaneous live outputs. They're constantly on. And nowadays, it's pretty easy to get about 120 meter Thunderbolt cable to go back to a rack of storage. And we'll be announcing some accommodations for that on the desktop side of the universe. An important consideration for us is actually how you use this. We warranty this a little further than most companies do. And we put our name on it, and we want this to last a while. So it's incredibly light where it needs to be light, and we use steel points where mount points meet. The wood handle is kind of a nice accent. It's kind of paying homage to our history of cameras, as well as we found it to be kind of pleasing instead of just metal on metal. And then we even put a contoured suede shoulder pad in there. Now, if you have serious objections to a shoulder pad, you could take it off and buy a third-party one. There's just 2 screws on there. But we thought this was really neat. How many people have spent $12,000 on a camera they can't even put on their shoulder? How many people have spent $3,000 to $5,000 on a DSLR just to hold it? And so, hey, here's an idea. You can pull it out of a box. And here's Andy, our camera model, doing an exquisite job. But it's really interesting to see people actually look at the ergonomics of how it works. When you look at a DSLR type of camera, how much do you have to spend just to put it on your shoulder? So this is incredibly strong and lightweight, a magnesium body. It's under 2.5 kilograms. So we thought, hey, that makes it enjoyable to shoot 10 hours a day. So the other thing that we felt was very, very, very important consideration is how things are connected. Not only delivering you those capabilities, but off of a spec sheet, onto your sets, into the real world. How does this all work together? And so what we did is out the business side, you know, away facing from the operator, we put the 4 BNCs that can carry your 4K RAW, but at the same time we put in the HD SDI down convert, so you can send that back, as well as your reference and your LITC. And then we even added something else that is going to get more and more prominent. Because a lot of consumer electronics find themselves into a professional shoot, we have the HDMI 2.0B that will allow you to put a 4K 60p through a consumer television. So you'll see those out there quite a bit. It's pretty prevalent standard nowadays. As well as we even have a USB connection, so you can charge the phone that could be operating this device, which we'll show you in a minute, truthfully. And then we also thought, hey, what about a powered XLR? How many people own an $8,000 to $12,000 camera that doesn't have audio that's professional? And so, wow, what an idea. We could put that right in line. And then we have HD SDI for your viewfinder, another separate HD SDI, so you're not running a bunch of wires around there, and a link that will let you stop and start record, just basic triggering if it's on a rig. And then just above that, we have the HD HDMI, again, for a viewfinder option, or if you want a small monitor up there, as well as there's the 2-pin P-tap, and another link for you to control your start and stop on records. Out the back end, there's a 2-pin battery plate for your Anton Bauer or whatever you mount back there. And the other nice thing is you can actually power through that 2-pin that's in there directly through the camera. You don't necessarily have to use the 4-pin if you want it to behave like a true ENG camera with that. And so that was a consideration we gave, as well as the LAN and the Thunderbolt. So the LAN gets interesting. How many people have a LAN port on their camera? So we're doing a lot at one time. So again, just to recap the data, we have a RAW going out, Thunderbolt 30p. We have 4K, 120 frames per second. Actually, that could turn out to 15.8 terabytes an hour. So it's kind of good. You can send that off the camera. We have 2 HD SDIs. And then we have an HDMI that's 4K, as well as an HDMI that is HD. And we have onboard ProRes recording. And backing up, we can record to all those various formats you can read about on our website or just ask me. So we also thought, hey, one of the things we want is kind of an elegant on-screen status. So we let this get really powerful, really controlling without being too obtrusive and having light up buttons and rotary dials. So you can control the status, you can configure your camera, you can roll back shots, and you can operate it. And we put a confidence monitor on the side of this. Now what's neat about the confidence monitor is, hey, that's nice, and it's right behind so people can actually see what's going on. But we thought, hey, let's put a gig Ethernet on here so we can control it, just like a Key Pro. Has anyone used a Key Pro before? You can just Ethernet in and control it, start and stop your records, and hey, you can transfer data. But what if you could do that with a camera while you're watching a real-time preview of it? And so here we can gang record these, just like Key Pros. So if we arm one camera and say record, the other two can record at the same time. And then if we say stop, the other two will stop. So we match time code into there, and then we can start and stop records together, and we can video preview this as a DIT over the LAN and control it that way. You'll also notice in the status, this sidebar kind of looks conspicuously like the Key Pro. And so we can actually roll back clips. And so if a DP or producer is like, hey, did we get that shot? We could be sitting at our desktop and roll it right back for them. So this has kind of changed things a little bit. So here's what's supplied. You get the wood handle, you get the link collar, you get your power. We thought out of the box, we're going to leave the whole world open as far as options, but we thought it'd be good to advance things with a viewfinder bracket and a rosette to rod adapter, so you could put an arm on there and walk right out. The other three options that we're providing is a top rods, bottom rods, and a rear rod mount, all 15mm rod mounts. And then something that we've been shipping now for a year is the Pack Dock and Pack Dock Media, which again are certified for thousands of reinsertions. We're not just throwing you the third to the internet and saying, go get your own storage at Best Buy. We're telling you this is what we're certifying. There's a full year warranty on these, and we're going to guarantee those records. So it's an open design. You could use your accessories or ours. You'll notice everything we have here is open. It's open to HDMI, it's open to 3G, it's open to Ethernet cables. You don't have to, you're not beholden to us for anything here. You could use any viewfinder out there. And that's kind of a different thing. People are used to using the company's viewfinder with it. Standard 15mm rods, M6 rosettes or Hearth tooth rosettes, cheese plates, which again are standard sizes that you'll find out there. There's nothing proprietary here. And so it's the nexus of production. It's really interesting to show an AJA diagram with us in the front of the parade. But we thank you for your consideration. We'll be doing some events coming up soon, and if you want to see it, just get a hold of me or the authorized resellers we have for this, and we'll set it up for you. But thank you.